Okay, so let's kind of go back to 2017. No, that's not how I should start talking about this. I've already messed it up, haven't I? How are you guys today? I'll figure it out eventually. I'll figure it out eventually. Um, how are you guys today? Are you good? Are you good? I hope you're good. Yeah, okay. I have some, um, I cracked open some Pocky, and it says banana chocolate, but it's actually, like, I've taken out the sticks, right? Looks like it's only banana. Like, I don't actually see any chocolate on it. Nom nom nom. Which is so weird. I figured I'd have a Japanese snack while I'm messing with this thing. Streaming is hard, yeah. I mean, I've attempted to do like a presentation stream in the past, but I don't really have um I only have a rough outline of what I want to do today. It's like I want to spend 10 minutes talking about the history of this, move on to the character creator, kind of just mess with every single option, and then go in VR and just mess around with all the costumes, maybe dance a bit. And that's today's stream. That's today's stream plan, because I don't know what you mean by pocket game, unfortunately. I'm sorry. But the reason why I want to do that, like this kind of bit of a personal indulgence, but the reason for that is because, as you may or may not be aware, since I haven't mentioned it and talked about it on occasion, the license for VKatsu is expiring tomorrow. So it'll be removed from the store, and you won't really be allowed to like use this program and broadcast it anymore, or like use it as a source of avatars. And it's a bit of an interesting saga, I think, which I really don't know much about because I'm not very good at studying Japanese um, at a steady pace. So but I can kind of infer a few things, especially since this is like a Japanese company that does not communicate in English, right? So, oh, you mean like the spaghetti thing in like the that dog movie, Lady in a Tramp or something? Yeah. But yeah, so this VTubers were really getting. I made a Twitter thread like summarizing this, but it's like there's when VTubers started in 2017, um, there's kind of like it was kind of like a new industry starting from scratch, right? And let's let's just stop the music coming out of my speakers. And for some reason, I think I first heard it when I learned about how a space colony should actually ideally start, but it applies to most new industries, right? I think as well, and it's that there are essentially three phases to starting a new venture. There's like the first phase, that's a bit of a pioneering phase where everyone kind of goes in, invests as much as they can, and they kind of invent a lot of things and experiment a lot. And that's where all of the ideas are kind of played with. The second phase is essentially them standing on the shoulders of the first phase, and they make tools, and they try to create standards. And that's where like there's some growth there, because the expense of establishing a foothold has been done. So, and the tools are there to kind of try to reduce the value, the price of getting into it. The third phase is standing on the shoulders of the second phase, where now the tools and the standards have been tried and tested, and they're really standards now, or like whether it's de facto or not, and everything is extremely inexpensive now, so it's accessible to everyone. When you think of a colony and establishing like a moon base or something like that, or going to Mars, you know, you have like the initial people going and researching, then people establishing some test colonies, some succeed, some fail, and then you have families going in and really setting up industries there. And you can say the same about how America was established or how Australia was established and stuff like that. But you can also like apply that model, I believe, to something like VTubers. And that's a really like maybe I'm going a bit too much into it, but essentially, this is one of the tools that came out in like that hypothetical second phase of the VTuber industry. Right, in 2017, everyone was just kind of experimenting. And in 2018, tools started to come out to try to kind of like create a bit of a standard. And in mid 2018, there was this, and there was also something else called Vroid, and that led to like, you know, more people trying to be a VTuber, and I kind of came about that time. You know, I was already keeping tabs on things from 2017. I didn't really have any motivation to try to be a pioneer, but this came about, and I thought, you know what, I'll try to mess with this. And this was also like around when I don't think the metaverse was a concept yet, or at least the term. But this was like a step into it, right? Because like VR chat was around and stuff as well. And VKatsu took a bit of an odd path in that they wanted to be kind of, I think they kind of wanted to come off as a bit of a premium service, like a source of premium avatars to put into your avatar program, because Japan had Virtual Cast and Nico Solid already. So what they did was that they essentially sold upload tokens for 5,000 yen a piece, which allowed you to upload a model that you created in here to that service, and that was, you know, that was essentially the Japanese equivalent of VR chat. But VKatsu took a kind of an odd path here, where it's like, okay, they're catering to a Japanese audience, but Steam Direct came along at the same time, and so for some reason they decided to self-publish on Steam, which was at the time predominantly a Western platform, right? There was really barely any, if at all, any non-English speaking self-publishing developers on Steam. And this, like, these guys were also one of the first people to do that. So like when it came out, I think everyone kind of expected it to eventually get English support. Like, it did come out on early access. It was marked as early access, which is meant to indicate that you know, that it was under development. But as the months went on, I don't think they really communicated well in English, if at all. It kind of just got left behind, I think. Like, I mean, I still kind of kept an eye on things. I decided to like lend some support by writing an English manual. but nothing else really came about from it, I think, because the update still continued in Japanese only. And like the usage rights for the model was still restrictive, and since it was all in Japanese, I don't think any English speaker really understood that. Like they didn't really understand that this was what you were supposed to do with this. So it was. I think it was like a few missteps which led to this kind of being left behind, and VTubers kind of experimenting with the other character creators that came out at that time, right? Like because the live 2D industry was getting started, as well as Void. And that's what that's what I eventually turned to as well. I mean, my avatar right here is also Void. Well, not Void, Live 2D. But so the end result of it, I think the main resource that really came from this, for me at the very least, was essentially use this for two major things. One was to look at it as like just a character designer rather than just like getting the avatar out and using it itself. I was using it as a bit of a designer tool, which was free. And the second one was to actually just kind of look at all of these character creation options and actually just use it as like design reference, right? Because I mean, just look at all of these selections here. Like everything is like high quality pictures, and it's like I didn't really know how to draw anime at the time, right? And there's just so many different ways to do like specular lighting shapes in the eyes, like you can see here. So like I think I didn't like copy it directly, but I definitely used it as a lot of study reference. And that was really one of the most useful things to me. Because you can also see like so many different ways of the eyes being drawn here. Some really exotic looking, you know? And then I eventually picked one out, picked some of this stuff out. And like there's so many different color options here as well. That you can really just create anything and have it really look really beautiful. But it was still just a really high quality free character reference. Like, and I think that's kind of why VKatsu is shutting down, because like how could they make money from that? Like seriously. There was also this weird thing as well, where the name of the company is IVR, and I remember early commentary, some of the stuff I think they said in English was them saying, well, essentially people in the forum saying, well, is this just illusion? And then IVR said, no, we're not illusion, and then which led to a bit of confusion, because there is like if you're into H games, this character creator is pretty much lifted from an 18 plus H game called VKatsu. So there were a lot of early comparisons there, and it made things even more confusing when in 2019 VKatsu was released on Steam. And the exact relationship between those two, I don't think was ever really 100% clear. But and there were like two possibilities, right? The first one is that it could have been like IVR could have been like a subsidiary of Illusion with but no actual like official association with it. Officially, because I remember going to like the website for IVR and there's like absolutely no reference to Illusion. And the other possibility is that it was actually sub-licensing Like it's actually it really was a separate VR company that decided to license and lease like some of the resources from Koikatsu to create this. And I think it's actually the latter because, well, like this is just me inferring what's happening tomorrow with the license expiring, right? It's the rights are reverting to Illusion. Like they released a notice saying, the licenses are just expiring and ending. We need to shut it down. And they're also saying that the ownership of this is reverting to Illusion. But that's kind of it, really. So yeah, I think it was just a bad time. I actually don't know what most of these sliders do, but like for this character creator, like you just tinker with every single one and see what visually changes, and it's like that's it. Like you don't actually really need to know English. It helps, but you end up just tinkering with it anyway because you want to experiment with everything, right? That's like and stuff like that. Yes, yeah. This isn't even me. Like this is just the default schoolyard model. But since I've mentioned illusion, I suppose I should like mention what that is. And illusion is essentially, I think it's really one of the most highest quality H game companies in Japan. Um, Again, like all Japanese exclusive, right? There's no English in it, and they only really started releasing a few things in recent years. Um, but from what I can tell, one of their prime selling products is well, their current prime selling product is called Koikatsu. No association with VKatsu, but they also used to have like something called like Artificial Academy or something like that. And as far as I can tell, it's kind of like a sandbox H game where you can create characters and then do things to them. It's like I don't think I need to describe what you can do with them. But essentially, it was kind of like a bit of a create your own dating sim because you could create all of these characters and like add bios to them, and then you kind of dated the character you created. And Koikatsu was essentially the current generation version of it with HD models. So like all of these models are absolutely fantastic looking. Like really, it's really on par with some super high quality anime CG that I've seen in like say, what was it, Guilty Gear, or even just looking at some anime that's done in 3D at the moment that straight up just looks like 2D. Um, where was the hair? Right, there's the hair. And it's like, it's amazing because like this has like pretty much every single style you can think of that kind of just fits into that typical anime tropey art style. Just look at all of these different styles, and you can even like change the kind of the kind of like specular pattern that's drawn. Um, and looking at the way like all of these parts are layered as well, it's like it's really just a great, for me, it was just a great tool for me to study to kind of figure out how to layer my live 2D actually. So it was still useful to me in the end, like there's a front fringe piece and there's a back hair piece. But like this, like I think VKatsu, the developers, kind of tried to give this thing some support, but they didn't really give a lot. There were some early issues with some of the first versions, so like like there was a plain color background, but if you wanted to like green screen it, it's really subtle, but there is actually bloom in this lighting system. And yeah, like for like a few months they actually, you were kind of stuck with that until they eventually added an option to reduce the bloom, so you can actually just turn it off. And yeah, they did, like, this is, you know, version 1.4.5, like they did eventually add settings to kind of adjust things, and also some like additional support for uploading and stuff like that. But you know, like I think just more or less just completely fell off the radar in probably like 2019, 2020, because people were still making avatars in them, sure, but like you know, you couldn't take the avatar out. Like the only option you really had, I suppose, was to use ripping tools, which is, you know, not legitimate. It's like I'm kind of afraid to even bring it up, but like, like it or not, and like I think I do have to acknowledge that there is like a pretty significant amount of piracy, especially in the Western world when it comes to these Japanese H games, because like they don't even publish it in English, right? So I think that might have been another factor as well, because like, oh, it's 5,000 yen, it's like $70 to upload one avatar only to a Japanese website. Like, what else were people gonna do? It's like I never did it, but I could definitely see, like I've seen, I remember seeing other people do it, and well, that's what they did, you know. I don't know what they were thinking, or if they were aware that that's not actually the proper way to do it. I don't know, but that's what they did. But yeah, like there, I think there were like issues with this character creator as well. One thing that actually still exists is in the config they eventually added rendering options, and that's because the basic version actually has a very big like this is unfiltered, right? So everything kind of is kind of desaturated, but by default everything's oversaturated. So I remember one of the early issues I had when trying to do something here was like I'm trying to match RGB, because like I have a color palette off like in other places, right? So like if I wanted to match the RGB of say my hair in the corner here, my current avatar, it actually wouldn't work. Like if I tried to match all the numbers, and that's because there is a vividness filter, so that's a bit of a shame. But yeah, how long have I been talking about the history of VKatsu? I don't think there's really much else to say. Like there is like a VR room, and again, it's like it's one of those things that they didn't really develop like very deeply. Like there's no Oculus support. It was very much an alpha kind of Steam VR support. And yeah, it was like you were in a room and you could kind of just use it as a stage, like, and there was a background stage for you to kind of do kind of just chatting videos, but that was kind of it. Like you couldn't take the model out of this, and the VR tracking was pretty meh. um, there's like so many different parameters here to mess with, and then I don't even really know what to do, like on how to show all of these parameters. There's just hundreds and hundreds of parameters. And then there's like hair parameters, which you've already seen. Let's just pick a pre-made color. There's also like, where was it? There's eye shapes. So again, it's like all of these different ways of doing the eyeliner. Like, you know, I took inspiration from some of these. So that's why, like, the recreation I made just the day before making this video or this stream, it looked so much like me because, like, there's a relationship, you know, there's a direct correlation between what I did in VKatsu and the concepts I kind of took from it to kind of influence my current avatar. And, you know, like, I would love it if I could keep using this, but well, you know, it's gotta move on from it. Gotta move on from it. That it's been years, and well, that's kind of it. There's lots of different clothing options as well. There was like they did add more clothing over time, but there is like one specific thing here, which was a collab. So this they did, you know, they did manage to actually do a collab with a mobile game. So this outfit here is actually like it's you know that I guess I could call her like an attendant character. Like she kind of looks like a flight attendant or something like that. In that mobile game, which I can't even remember at the moment. Yeah, because of the whole vividness thing, it's actually a little bit difficult to get the colors right. But yeah, there is actually a full set of clothing there, and was honestly just the extent of it. Like there wasn't really anything else to it. Lots of different underwear options, like leotards. Unfortunately, like I said, I originally made this. I originally tinkered with this all the way back on my old computer, so like I lost the save files, I think. Well, I mean the save files are still on the old computer somewhere, but yeah. So all the colors are wrong because it was just taking the presets from the school uniform, but I think that's all of the parts for the collab outfit. Oh, there was a hat as well, actually. So I think this hat here. I mean, those are default colors. But yeah, it was a bit of fun, you know? Like, it was fun to use, but I think it kind of just... The novelty factor wore off pretty fast because you couldn't really do anything with it. And that's kind of it, you know? Like, what else is there for me to say? Do you guys have any, like, questions or anything like that? I remember when looking at the manual, well, and also just trying to create my own manual, I was looking at these manual options, right? And I was kind of just gonna reset everything there. I was kind of just raising my eyebrow when it came to like how everything here is actually in Japanese. So like in other games, there are like certain terms that like in a Japanese game, that you would actually still render in with using an English alone word. But what I found really curious here is like these options here. This is actually save and load, but instead of saying save and load, they actually write this in full Japanese kanji, which I always thought was kind of curious. Yeah, so here's the one that I made earlier. And this is the outfit itself. It was actually kind of me just messing around because I tried to make some basic outfit. Just made something simple. But then I tried to add like it's an accessory in every single slot. So like one for the head, one for the hair, one for the shoulder, one for the back, one for the belt, etc. So this was really just me messing around. And it's kind of just amazing how I ended up with like just the hair that kind of looks like me. It's a bit of a weird coincidence, but I guess I shouldn't be surprised. But yeah. I don't know. There's also like different poses you can make. Who knows? Like maybe this will be the last thing I use as reference, and maybe make this into a new live tweet. So like I added some chocolate to the end as well, but it's like honestly it's kind of silly. I even added a little hat there. Yes, chocolate. But yeah, let's just scroll through all of the different poses now. But yeah, it's a really great. It's just a character creator, you know. Like, but I think that limitation was also its downfall, because these characters are really beautiful. But let's just make the outline figure. So like one of the workarounds, which even I did because I did a video tutorial for it, and other people did as well, is that, like I mentioned earlier, like Live 2D and VRoid and VKatsu all were kind of emerging in the same period. Not all in the same day, but same period of late 2018. And like one of the workarounds to get around the 5,000 yen price was that they allowed you to use screenshots for free, right? Like the thing that cost money was actually extracting the game data out and putting it onto onto that Nico Solid servers. So the workaround there was, since you could still publish screenshots and videos, one thing you could do was take the screenshots and use them directly, like by cutting it out and all stuff, and jigsaw it back together into a live 2D model. And that's essentially what I did as well. But I never actually. But when I decided to like do my first streamers VTuber, I actually decided to not use that model. So I actually did make a live 2D model in 2018, and I've shown it off like once, like exactly once, during a very random stream, in like a few years ago. And to be honest, I actually have no idea where that model is now as well, but let's see if I can actually find it. I forgot to like loaded up ahead of time, actually. So this is the model that I made. Like I just jigsawed it together, really basic. And it's like I made this like if I was more confident in my drawing skills back then like it's entirely possible that you could have seen light of the area at Airy much earlier. But you know, like things just move on, you know? Like it's a gradual process. I'm just like scrolling through all these different poses just for the heck of it. There are like so many, you know? And it really is just a way to it's just a photo booth, you know? Like this appeals to someone. It appeals to someone. There's also like a hidden feature of sorts where it didn't show up in the manual when I found it. It was like if you press space, you can actually go to full screen. And this is where the actual photo mode is. Like for some reason, like it's not even in the Japanese manual. I think I might have found it by accident, but you can actually get uncompressed PNGs by just pressing F11. There's a bit of a picture there, picture sound there. Of course, you can't exactly scroll through that. So, but yeah, just yeah, feel free to just look at me doing lots of sexy poses while you see the old version of me from 2018 in the corner here with really rough rigging. But yeah, like before I started streaming, you know, like I was posting pictures of me doing poses in this. And yeah, that was man, that's a really pretty one, isn't it? How many poses are there? There's still more to go through. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Yeah pose. And now we're getting into animations. Oh wow, I'm using the chocolate like a phone. And the girly one. Choco phone. Choco phone. So yeah, like it's pretty late to the party, but like this is pretty much the last time, the first time and the last time that you're gonna see a VKatsu version of me. It's oh, found it right. What? There we go. Yeah, well, you know, it's okay. Like that's the thing. Like no one like yes, rip, but also like who used it? Who uses it at this point? Um, most people at this point, I think, have moved on. Like quite possibly the main reason being that it was stifling. Like they couldn't take the model out. If they did, it was technically against the TOS. So much like what I did, it's like I used it as reference to recreate essentially my own version in Vroid and Live2D. I don't know if there's an Air DJ, but yeah, there's like so many different poses here, way more than I knew about. Me acting a bit tough. I think that goes right up to the top. And then there's dancing. Skirts are always messy when it comes to physics. I'm not surprised when it's clipping there. I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid. What do you think of this outfit, by the way? Is it like weird? It's just I think it's just a bit a little bit eclectic. But yeah, that like I don't think I'll ever know for sure what the exact relationship is between VKatsu and Koikatsu, but this does have features which are not in Koikatsu, because it's an independent fork, right? So like in the character creator, they added more options, rendering options, the stance tab. Yeah, it's. I always wanted to get like a little hat there. Like a little bit of Gothic Lolita. Like the whole Gothic Lolita fashion style has those little hats. But like remember last year I did that music video. It's like one thing I actually regret is like I didn't really find anyone who used VKatsu. And it's like sure I could have made myself and danced in VKatsu, but it's like I mean I guess that was a sign. Like no one was really using it after 2020, I think. Um do, 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 do. Does it have that dolphin move? I have no idea. Where? Ah, yeah. Yeah, so it's just a lot of common typical moves, I guess. And of course this. So like that's everything there. Let's leave this dancing for a bit. Like you can imagine this being an interesting tool. But you know, I guess we're not gonna get a music video of me being in VKatsu. I can imagine myself doing like some tight editing, messing with the thing, but it's like, ugh, that was never for me. There is like one success story though, which I don't really know much about, but there is like another VTuber called Hoshino Mare, or just Mare, and she is probably, well, she's the only success story I'm aware of, period, that it still sticks to VKatsu. And she was, you know, she was an early adopter of this, and she was a one of those utatte singers, you know, and she eventually just ended up having her own anime singing, like her own singing career in Japan as a VTuber. And I don't think I don't know if anyone ever actually called her a VTuber, but she, yeah, she still uses it. I don't know what she's gonna do in the next couple of days, because pretty much all of her marketing and branding is a VKatsu model. But there is like a technicality in the licensing where it's like you can use this as a character designer. You just can't take the model out, right? So I think most of her old chats, like she can't do any more chat streams in the old way. Using the VKatsu upload in virtual cast. But yeah, like if I open my I actually have a web browser open at the moment. Just to kind of show the website here. And yes, I am still dancing in the background. But like there's really nothing left in the VKatsu website. Like it's just a notice, everything's shutting down. There is a notice here saying, I think it was added like at the beginning of the month. It says right there. But it's saying that all of the rights do revert to Illusion. So this is like one of the clues which lets me infer that, well, I mean, they always made it clear from the beginning that IVR is not Illusion. But yeah, this is essentially them describing that's when the license is going to expire. At 12 tomorrow, so in about 24 hours, 26 actually, which means that I need to like publish this VOD like an hour before that. And there isn't really much left. Like if I just turn on like the auto translate, like there are still some terms and conditions here. But like when this was originally announced in January, I did do like a rough translation and posted on Twitter, just to kind of try to make it clear what you couldn't do if anyone was still interested. But yeah, it's like I think some people were like actively deleting their past content, but you didn't actually need to do that. Like the licensing period was between 2018 and 2022, right? Like if you made something during that period, you can still keep it up, but like you just can't do anything more after that. And it's kind of unfortunate, but well, licenses expire, you know. That's just the world that we live in. And I would like to think, at the very least, that whoever decided to use this got plenty out of it for free, like totally for free. Like I certainly did, you know. I never bought a character ticket because, well, I'm not in Japan, so that was a problem. But yeah, like it's a shame that they never actually ended up using Steam to its full potential either. Like, because like they could have, there were definitely like lots of different things they could have done, but they just didn't. Like them publishing on Steam was really the first step to them moving into like outside of Japan. So, and like everyone was expecting English translations and for it to be sale on Steam, and maybe you could buy the character ticket on Steam, or maybe there was a different model there, like a sales model there. But none of it really happened. Like there was a collab, there were a few updates for some technical updates, um, and that was kind of it. Like it kind of just stayed as um, a room where you can do vlogging, and that was it. And yeah, that's it. Um, and where's the guide I made? Like, yeah, I wrote this like years ago. Everyone like it was useful. But I also tried to adhere to like I didn't want to like give too much help because like I knew that I had to read the license for it, and I didn't want to provide a translation of the license. But yeah, I remember this is just me thinking back to it. Like, but like when I was writing the manual, um, I was also trying to stay cognizant of like I want to cover these bits, but like the developers need to like do stuff as well because like one thing that I try to point out in the manual is that you need to read the license, but I'm not going to provide a translation because the translation is what the developers need to provide. You know, like I can help people understand how to use the program, but well, uh, nothing really came out from it. Because if there's no English license, then English users can't use it properly. So um, anyway, that's so I didn't scroll through every slider, I think, because it's just lots and lots of sliders. There's like so many different hair options that I could go through, but I don't really think I need to scroll through everything, do I? Yeah, like lots of different shoes and leggings, and now I'm dancing naked for some reason. Like lots of leggings and stockings and gloves, and underwear options. Yeah, fan service. Look at that, fan service. Um, okay, but well, you're about to see a bit more fan service now, guys. Yeah. No, actually, before I do that, one thing I think no one, it was like requested, but I think they added it way too late. But there is actually a male character creator option here. Um, but and again, like this is one of those cases where it's like I think they were just updating and responding too slowly to like Steam and the English side of things. But they did eventually add this option. And another thing that they did as well is that I think they concentrated more on updating the phone versions rather than this, so that's why this got neglected so fast. But yeah, that's kind of it. But yeah, lots of preset characters here as well. Oh wow, that guy has a mustache. Let's load that guy. And you've still got the same animations. But yeah, I'm not interested in that. let's just do some messing around. There is also like all of the features for vlogging were kind of half finished. Like it wasn't really that well done. So there is an actual face camera tracking mode here. So like if I I need to turn off my camera first. But the camera room here, like this was an option, right? This was an option, but you know, like I was trying everything out, all the different options on face tracking. No, I don't really watch male VTubers. Oh, I don't really watch any VTubers actually. But but so you can kind of see here that the frame rate here is actually extremely low. Yeah, 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 yeah. So like I actually looked into this issue myself, right? And kind of tried to figure out like what was going on there. And I like because I've developed on Unity. This game is made in Unity, right? And as far as I can tell, there was actually like the only hint I could find as to why this was so laggy was that Unity actually is not good at processing webcam images. Like for some reason, the default API for camera support in Unity is like 10 FPS. So the only way to improve this was them to actually implement a new webcam tracking method, which, you know, again, they never did. You know, like this was just, I don't know, you know, like I just don't know why they never did anything here. Like it's really choppy tracking. Yeah. Um, like all of like event like the program that I'm using now runs at 60. I set it down to 30, but it's like, yeah, like there is some eye tracking and like I can set the lighting here. Like this had so much potential, right? But it's like I just don't know what was going on. I don't know what they were thinking. Maybe they just didn't have the support, or they didn't know what they were doing. But who knows? You know, like they had these this model creator, um, and I think they kind of squandered it, or they didn't know what they were doing. Like who knows? You know, who knows? But you can kind of see that it is incredibly choppy. It's also like not actually tracking correctly. Like, there's no configuration. So like I'm leaning my head to the left and it's actually mirroring. But if I look to the left, it actually looks right. Like it's actually the values are inverted. Which is yeah. And like I can invert the tracking here, but like it just reverses the head tilt. Well, yeah, like I don't really know how else to put it, right? Um, that, like I don't know, like maybe they squandered it, maybe they had some issue where they just couldn't develop. Well, they either couldn't or they didn't. They chose not to develop this and add more support. You know, like just yeah, yeah. Wow, that is just so choppy. But yeah, it's really a shame. Like it would have been nice. This, you know, like Like, one thing that I imagine that these guys did right was identify pretty early on that being a VTuber is driven, like it lives and dies by having good art assets. So they decided to license it. And then the technology was kind of meh. So yeah, yeah. It's like stop motion, you know? It's like if this frame rate was just twice as high, then it could actually work as anime, because anime is usually about like a 20, 15 to 20 FPS, but this is like 5 to 10. So it's just choppy, you know? Um, but yeah. I feel like I've been talking forever. Um, I hope you guys don't mind the kind of podcasty format that I'm doing like this. Oh yeah, it's pretty easy to do a stop. Yeah, oh yeah. A stop motion looking video. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Yeah. But yeah, like the webcam tracking was always low quality. If I let's go back here. So I've actually had my headset on the whole time. So not on my head, but turned on. So let's turn on the VR room. And I can actually select a lot of different rooms. At first it was actually only 2 rooms, I think. It was actually just this bedroom and the classroom. Possibly this chemistry room, but let's go to like this romantic looking night here. Yeah. Yeah. For some reason, like the base heights, like again, this is another one of those things where it's like it's kind of off. Like the height is just really low for some reason. Um, so like I need to like reset it like that or something. But even then, it's like kind of low. There we go. That's better. Um, what should I even do here? It's like, how do I even know how to navigate this? Are you reading Japanese? Sort of. I can read some Japanese, um, but like it's not. I'm not perfect. Some of it is just trial and error. Wow, my legs are broken. Oh well. Nya 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 nya. Nya 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 nya. Nya 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 nya. Um, but yeah, it's like it feels like this was also kind of half finished. Like it was a prototype, but like there's no arm calibration, so the arms kind of lock because my arms are too long. Like there's no scaling. That stuff that you kind of expect there. Um, and Also that breaks sometimes. Well, that's just something that happens when I open the Steam menu. So um, yes, I'm tiny. So physics, the physics broke. If only I had like I could make this more fancy if I had like karaoke or something like that. But it's like nope, unfortunately, nothing like that. I don't even really know what to play. So like I could play something. Do you want me to play some music? I could put on some. Where's my mouse? I'm wearing my headset, so I'm blind. I don't even know what I'm doing. Do I feel happy when I'm in an anime body? I think that's kind of a... I actually think that's kind of a personal question. There, you happy now? I did come, that's it. I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, this is really all you're gonna see. So, okay. Do I feel happy when I'm in an anime body? That's really I think it's kind of a personal question, because like, no techno dance. There's, I think it is nice. I think I do feel something like that, but I think people use avatars for different reasons, right? Like this goes into a bit of a fundamental question of like why people use the metaverse, and also like people who are trans, and that's not really a topic I get into when doing these streams, you know, because there's definitely a feeling that does occur when I have this avatar, and it's like, this is really the only... This is... unfortunately, I've kind of, like, not really used VKatsu that much as well, and over these years, and this is the last opportunity for me to use it. That dance with lights in their hands. Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of a shame. It's kind of a shame. But this is really the last time, you know. At least publicly, because like I can still use this in private. But yeah, I don't know. That question epic just kind of opened up a can of worms, because it's like, this is still like the benchmark. This is still the goal that I think a lot of VTubers would want to get to, like this level of quality, and there's lots of ways to approach that. And there's, at the very least, like, it's been 4 years. This easy skip forward isn't going to exist anymore, right? I guess that's how I really like to think of things, because you know I've been slowly developing my own models as well. But you know, time and technology marches on. That's what I kind of try to tell myself. And this was a very primitive, early kind of attempt at it, which was extremely high quality. Yeah. Still, I made this body really quick yesterday, and it looks so much like my live city, and it's like I think I'm actually gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss being able to. I already feel like I'm actually gonna miss it. Like being able to like control this body and really, you know, be this person. And the best I can do is just make something that's heavily inspired by that, which you know takes time. But yeah. Oh yeah, you couldn't stop smiling. Was it like a female head or a male head? It's like what I'm trying to get at is that like some people use this as a kind, like a lot of people in VR chat as well. You may have seen some discussion about it, but it's like there's a lot of people who have gender dysphoria and kind of just use this as a kind of therapy. And well, I've never really been one to talk too deeply about that subject. But you can probably make a few inferences that I'm not gonna like openly state. So I feel like they need to like recalibrate this. So it's like re-zero this. There's also like lots of costumes here as well. Like again, much like the character creator, I wanted to just like scroll through all of the different options. So like if I just press a button here, you can kind of see like a doll show up, but like from my perspective, it's actually like there's a big palette of cards that show up in front of me. So which you can't see in this view at the moment, but I can actually just grab this doll, which is kind of awkward for it to show up on the feed actually, but it's a bit of a yes, tiny area. But I can actually just again, like this just goes with the vlogging thing, right? Like there's there are these invisible cards that I'm holding, and I can actually just stick it on the character, and all of a sudden I'm making a different facial expression. Yeah. Yes. Feel free to take pictures. Can I make a tower? No, I can't use. I can't make a tower. This is actually just a reference, because like I essentially like put a card into this doll, and it changes my current clothes. So there's like let me see if I can just quickly show you my view. Yes, it's a voodoo doll. So this is the view that I'm seeing. And there's like disembodied hands, unfortunately. And if I look down, you can kind of see it up there, but it's like I can't actually see my body because it's not bending correctly. Like it would be nice if I could, but I can only see legs and it's not assigned correctly. But you can kind of see here that I need to be careful not to touch my hands on those two because those send me back. But you can see a huge palette of cards here. Yes. Yeah, you can see a huge palette of cards here, and all I have to do is grab one of these. Again, nothing in my hand. And just poke it in there, and all of a sudden I'm wearing different clothes. And yeah, my legs are backwards. Oh, actually, it's like super high. But yeah, I think there's just something wrong with the height calibration though. But and now you're seeing me without glasses. So this is the mascot outfit for VKatsu. So let's close that now. You don't need to see too much of that. But yeah, so many different costumes, and it's like, for some reason, well, let's just go through them. There's some of the early ones is just default stuff. Again, you know, like this was derived from a dating simulator, so it's like it's mostly school outfits. Smooth criminal. So like, I'm not. Yes, you could see through my eyes. So, are you ready for some sport? I'm not very much a sport type, but, well, you know. Or, you know, go you. I left down to any pom-poms for this day. Yeah. It's a nice cheerleader outfit. And there is, of course, just the standard school uniform as well. Unfortunately, I can't change. I need to, like, back out if I want to, like, change the background. There is, like, a beach thing I could do as well. Did you feel the evilness? There is no evilness, though. It's just regular school Gary. Would this face lie to you? Does this look like a face that would lie to you? Yeah. And there is, of course, the beach outfit as well. This is the part where I would probably, like, change the, it's a bit awkward because everything goes black. There's no actual interface to change, there's no, like, in VR interface to change the maps. So now we have an appropriate beach setting. Yeah. Well, wait, have you seen what happens if you go on a date? I mean, I guess you could call this a virtual date, if you really want. But yeah, who's ready for some fun in the sun? It's like really freezing over here though, so like this kind of is a bit meh. But, well, yeah. And there is, you know, also something just a bit more nice. Just a nice dress here. Oh yeah, there was that. Yeah, okay. There was that date game, that is true. It's a bit awkward to try to reset. There was that date game, wasn't it? That was just me messing around. And it was like, hands. Yeah. That beach is full of snow. Oh yeah, Yeah, it kind of does look like that, doesn't it? I don't know. I just. The interface is pretty finicky. There is also a blue summer dress. It really is. Like, there's. I mean, I did kind of explain the background of this program, right? Like, it's just a massive character creator with lots of different costume options because it's actually meant, you know, like it's derived from an H game with lots of like resources put towards it. So like there's just tons and tons and tons of clothing assets created already for it, and this was really early on. And no one really used it, I guess, because it didn't really have enough support. And there's just so much variety, and I don't think there's really going to be anything for a while now to reach this level. Because like this was like even before the metaverse was a concept, right? And this is really probably, I would say, an early example of what that metaverse could end up being. But yeah, oh well. And there is, of course, more costumes. I just want to scroll through all of them. How long is this stream going so far? Assuming I can actually grab the cards, because the thing's broken now. And there is, of course, a weird party outfit. This looks nice, doesn't it? Even like a tie here. Are you... what does this kind of look like? It's just some kind of fancy... Like, I guess I could call it like an idol dance costume. Too bad I don't actually remember any J-pop songs. I really wish that the cards could actually be grabbed more easily, but you also have like a purple version here. Like, just look at how many cute outfits there are. Like, it's such a... I don't know. Like, I think it'd be nice if I could continue using this as a source of inspiration, but like there are other sources as well, right? There's lots of stuff out there. But like, this is a really great starting point. So I'm not even through the first row of pre-made costumes yet. But yeah. Oh, really? Well, let's just switch to a different kind of evil. Ada, which is what I would say. Isn't that like... there are somewhere, like Gothic Lolita somewhere. I think there are. But, yeah. Is it like... It's something... I don't actually know like the full extent of that whole weird other thing. But, like, yes, corpo evil. Beware! Office Airy is here to sell your soul with a really awesome contract. And dental. At least, you know, if you're into that sort of thing. Like, who wants to work at a company these days? Everyone wants to work from home. But at the very least, you get to wear this. We'll see people wearing this. Well, depending on where you work anyway. Other than, if not, like, it's just pajamas. So... so many costumes. Like, for some reason, there was also like a weird line of mecha. Like, I don't know what's going on here. Like, I don't know why there's like a whole variation of mecha models. Who knows? Who knows? Whatever. Oh yeah, I guess it did get old fairly quick. But this is like, look at the colors on this. This is like so edgy. It's just red and black. I just don't know what this is. But here's something more simple. This is more like a fancy singer, isn't it? And they also like attached wings everywhere and feathers everywhere. Near, far, my heart. Oh, how did the lyrics go? I was about to sing that Titanic thing. Wherever you are, la la la, la la, my heart will go on. Or something like that. Let's go back to the room because the interface is kind of breaking. Other than that though, it's mainly just the basic rooms. Right, here's the basic room. Of course, I could also just make it plain white, which makes things a little bit easier. Although, like, if you're in the middle of the night, it's like, blindness warning, blindness warning. My eyes didn't even look for a second. That's very reassuring. Let's see. Yes, this is another bizarre one. It's like, what the heck is this? Wait. It's just it's like strike witches. But what the hell? This is like really extreme. I don't know what's going on. Like pew pew, and then like I can't see where I'm aiming. Pew 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 pew. Although this is quite possibly something more of my style. Nice winter outfit. Yeah. Meh. This one's also like pretty extreme as well. There's like witch outfit. Like, look at how big that hat is. Like, yeah. I put a spell on you. I put a spell on you. Exactly. Like there's a staff here. I don't know what's going on with the books behind me though. But just look at this one. This looks great as well. And I really like the whole. I'm trying to position my head so it's like it hides one eye because like it's just a little bit more thematic. It's like, you know. But like if it's too low, I actually can't see. I actually can't. Yeah, I can't see. Help! Help! I'm just firing blindly. There's also like a few outfits. Let's see, this next set. Only when you acknowledge it as cringe, it loses its coolness. Is that? Would you say that? I don't know. There's also like some really fancy outfits. Like this is something I'd see probably like at the horse faces or something. Just super fancy. I don't even know what this is. Like, did someone just stick an umbrella on my waist? I don't know what's going on there. Really. But yeah, these Premade outfits are just nice, aren't they? I don't know, there's just so much potential. Like I just want to like scroll through all of these. I'm not sure how the edit for the YouTube version will go, but of course I'm still having an issue with grabbing the cards. It's very finicky aiming. There we go, there's the next one in line. Now this one feels much more fancy, but it's still something that belongs in a fashion show, I think. Don't you think? It's still a really nice hat. But, well, I guess it's just something I like about having that little wool jacket as well. Like, I've always been a little fan of that. Yeah. It's very nice. And this one, I think this is just, I don't know what this is meant to be. It's like just snowflake. Like this is over the top. Like if you thought the previous ones were over the top, this is ridiculous. It's like, geez, how many eyes am I gonna like poke? Let it go, can't hold me back anymore. Let it go, let it go. Of course, this one. Are those fox ears? Come. But on the other hand, these are definitely umbrellas. You know? And it's like, am I just wearing like, just one of those leotards? Like, just look at how tight this is. Oh wow. It's like there's something on my back. And it's like, well, you can kind of see it on the models. Like, it's just weird, very weird wings. And yes, there are foxtails. You can't see it. Literally umbrella. It's like, welcome to high class fashion. Well, actually, it's not even high class fashion. You know, this really looks like more like a cobbled together school costume. Like, you know, school festival, let's just cobble stuff together. I'm the moon. Look at all these moons. It's like, I'm playing the night sky. You know what I mean when I refer to those lame theater, like lame school theater things, right? It's like, it's just something adorable about. I don't want to use the word cringe, but there's just something adorable about like costumes just cobbled together from scrap. Like, that's what this looks like to me. It's like, let's do a play about the 9 planets, or the 8 planets, and everyone has to have a costume about the planets. I'm the night sky. That's what this feels like. I don't know if, like, this is a good roast or not, but... Although if you want something a bit more nicer... Wouldn't it be nice? Are you ready? Oh no, who's the husband? I don't know. Who's on the other side of that screen right now? That is assuming that is assuming you're interested in having like cat fur all over the place and a severe lack of like meat for your barbecue because it's always gone for some reason. Yeah, that's totally what it'll be like. Is it an open bar? Well, it's open enough. I'll send you the tab later. But yeah, isn't this such a nice outfit? Or is the white background too bright? Oh. It's probably a bit too crazy, isn't it? You probably can't see me at all. I mean, that's probably a bit too bright as well, but meh. In fact, let's go to... Does it have the Japanese bright? That's a good question. Yes, you're totally blind. There we go. How does that look now? Doesn't that look so, like, romantic? Yeah. Well, yeah. It's not for everyone though. It is a very pretty outfit. I'm like halfway through this. Very pretty. And then there's also the opposite. It's like, what is this? Look how edgy that is. That a rose eye patch? What is this? There's even a massive bow on the back. Does this feel gothic enough for you? Oh ho 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 oh ho 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 oh ho ho, or something like that. Okay. Edgy wedding. And oh wow, look at that eye. It's just straight up just missing. Now this is edgy. Look at that, like teeth and an eye in my belly as well. Now that's kinda nightmarish. Yeah. Let's just go to the next one because it's like dun dun dun. Oh, I think a car just fell out of the game world. That's a shame. I'm gonna need to reload the map at some point. It's just... ugh. That's awkward. No, that's not it. Hello there. Why, hello there. How are you today? I'm just doing this bonsai thing. Oh, geez, I can't see a thing. That's not good. Um, I can't see anything from my perspective. That's not good. Okay, let's not do that one again. Here's the card that I was about to do. This looks more like... Oh, it's like a spellcaster outfit. Who's ready to learn Expelliarmus? It's like a little... This slime has jiggle physics, I think. Okay. Let's see what happens if I turn around. I think this tracking breaks if I turn around. Like it's like a vlog thing, right? Like I said, the tracking is not really fully fledged. Like it's not really designed. Like you saw me just break my back there. There's like one more row of like 12 costumes. How fast can I go through them? Assuming I can even pick up the card, which is actually the most frustrating part. Accio legs, yes. I think I just left the room by accident. But yeah, I'm actually like I showed you the card palette. Here's another spellcaster. This time with a magic dagger. But like I showed you like how the costume switching works. And it's like it's interesting, but the grabbing is very finicky. Like it's just a lot of floating cards. You grab them. Like it's a great concept, but it's just great. This kind of makes me think of a recolor of Cecilia. Like just look at how floaty Cecilia from Star Ocean 2. Like floaty that jacket is, like just around me. I'm just cheating here and trying to like touch the model to the card. It's instead of trying to grab the card and make it touch the model. Which is not working out, I think. I'm trying to load up Accio Dork. Yeah. Ugh, I really wish that would work. It's finicky. There we go. So we've got like a schoolgirl witch cosplay. Very ice themed and blue. Blizzard! Something like that. And I just closed it by accident again. Like, my hand just brushes against the card to go back. It would honestly be much easier if there was, like, an interface here. But I don't think there is one, so... It's finicky. And there's like, here's a pumpkin outfit. Look at that giant pumpkin on my head. I'm trying to load the one next to it, actually. There we go. I'm just trying to hook the model into the card. Like, this seems more like a summoner outfit. Shrine maiden, like an exotic fictional shrine maiden. There we go. Why is it loading that one? There we go. Pumpkin. There's like headphones or something here. Hmm. Who's ready for a Halloween show? More headphones. I'm just scrolling through them quick now. Like, oh, look at that giant. Why is this popsicle so big? I just look like a kid, don't I? Like, I'm just cosplaying as a kid. Nya, 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 nya. Oh, something like that. And there is, of course, edgy cyberpunk. Oh wow, look at the physics on the hair. Who's ready for some techno? I'm in like some kind of cyberpunk, sexy cyberpunk outfit, and like I'm just doing the robot. Wow, I am so lame. There's not much left to go. Oh wow, what is that? Jeez, don't do that. Okay, that's another magical girl thing. This makes me think of Atelier Iris for some reason, or Atelier Sophie. Just look at how fancy that is. Wow, this is actually like, wow, what is going on? 3 cats? Yeah? Cats? Oh, those are cat ears, aren't they? And there is also... Is that a cigarette? It's not just a delinquent outfit, it's also like a fox. It's another fox. Yeah. Or Kong, Kong, Kong. What are you looking at? Are you looking at me? I didn't see anyone else here. Are you looking at me? Fancy, fancy. I'm starting to scroll through these a bit quicker now, aren't I? But I don't think this is really my style. This is like way too pretty for me. And this is like, wow, who's ready for the beach? This is... I've got some gloves here. Like, why am I wearing, like, this looks like a beach outfit. Well, at least I have glasses. Does this look like something for me? Uh, or we could just... This is a bunny rabbit. It's like a bunny professor. So many outfits. Is that a frog with like a wagging tail that's kind of broken? Froggy, quiero, 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 quiero. Really wish I can just grab these cards. It's starting to break now, I think. There we go. Now we've got another cyberpunk outfit with these giant fists. Who's ready to take on the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Like, nyang, nyang. And also this. I'm not really sure what this is, but this kind of feels like another alchemist outfit. It's so colorful. Oh yeah, that katana was crazy. Like, why is that so big? And it's like, oh, my arms look so thin. And let's just go back to the default thing I made. So, probably spent a bit too long going through all of those. So, is there anything else you'd like to see? I think... I don't know what time it is, but... I don't know, like... I hope there was something entertaining or interesting here, because... sometimes, you know, like I suppose you could say that all streams are kind of self-indulgent, but this one was just me kind of looking through VKatsu for one last time. Because, I mean, like if I were to sum things up, you know, the licenses are expiring. I can't stream with this. But it's like it's also been like several years since I've actually tried to stream with this. You know, like I can sort of read Japanese with help of a little bit of a dictionary. I try to avoid machine translation unless I'm in a rush. But like when like I've said it multiple times during the stream today, but like VKatsu, the main advantage of VKatsu was just an amazing asset library from, you could argue, a questionable source because it's from an age game, but it was still like an amazing asset library which gave early VTubers an amazing leg up if they so desired. But it was also like, you know, it was an expensive and license restricted option, so people eventually migrated away from it. But it doesn't change the fact that it was something that contributed to that early VTuber culture when it comes to, like, I like to believe that anyway. Like, I think, you know, this was among the things that people browsed. People took visual inspiration from it, and they used other tools to create the desired model and their desired design. You know, like that was really VKatsu's place. And unfortunately, like I don't have any proof of it. It's mainly just me making an educated guess, but that probably didn't allow the company to make any money. Like their methods of monetization were really expensive, and also restricted to the Japanese kind of community, because like it was a Japanese storefront, everything was in Japanese, there was no English support, so like they really limited their growth, and there were probably a lot of mistakes made along the way, but like in the end, there were a few success stories, and even though people didn't use it directly for long, it definitely influenced a lot of people, or at the very least, it influenced me and a few other people that I'm aware of. Even though, like, I have to admit that I didn't really stream with this, because I kind of quickly discovered that I wasn't really much of a vlogger. I don't really do the just chatting category on Twitch. I still think I'm gonna miss it, because it's like, just look at this body, right? This just feels like me. Like, it was really like an early way of being who you wanted to be, with really powerful character creators, and that is really one of the cruxes. If you're really into this metaverse thing, like, I don't know if I am, but I believe that that's one of the things that's really important to the metaverse, like character creators. And even now, I don't think people have kind of caught up, because we have this pre-existing thing, and there are some other character creators out there that people are making from a blank slate. And VKatsu decided to, like, well, let's not make it from a blank slate. Let's just use this precedent of this existing character creator and do that. Except, there were very restrictive licensing issues. So, I'm gonna miss it. And I don't know. It was a bit of a mixed stream, because like it was me trying to just sit back and talk, but also me messing around. It's like, I hope there was still something fun to hang. I hope it was still fun to hang out with me today. It's like, it's not super complicated. There's no like there's no like karaoke or anything like that. But, I don't think it's really a fully sad thing, because I mean, if I want to be optimistic, it's really a stepping stone, to like try and forge something that's really my own. This is a one-time thing. It was scuffed. It was not perfect. A lot of it was just me kind of just fumbling around, playing with costumes, playing dress up. But, well, I hope it was fun. I suppose you can think of this as what could have been. Like in an alternate reality, maybe every VTuber is like this. But instead, the Western English-speaking VT community kind of went a different path, and that's just what happens. That's just what happens. So I think I've kind of explored everything I wanted to do in VKatsu now, so it's on to you now. Like, what do you want to see? What do you want to see me mess around with? Do you want me to, like, do dancing and jumping around with all of those physics? Or do you think it's kind of enough for today, because I've been streaming for about 2 hours now? Who knows? Sometimes, honestly, like for me, it's just nice to just look at myself in the mirror, or at least this avatar in the mirror, and just kind of just, But that's a different thing in and of itself. So, oh well. Yeah.